Good evening, everyone. Would you please join us in a salute to the flag?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of regular meetings on the bulletin board of the municipal building, by mailing the annual notice of regular meetings for 2013 to the News Record and Star Ledger in December 2012, and by filing said notice in the office of the Township Clerk.
Mr. Brownlee?
Here.
Mrs. Larrier?
Here.
Mrs. Leventhal?
Here.
Mr. Ryan?
Here.
Mayor DeLuca.
Here.
Whereas Chapter 231, Public Laws 1975, commonly known as the Open Public Meetings Act, requires that all meetings of public bodies be open to the public, and whereas Section 7 provides that the governing body has the discretion to permit, prohibit, or regulate the active participation of the public at any meeting, and whereas desired this governing body to comply with the provision of this act at the same time to conduct its business in an orderly and expeditious manner, now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood, does hereby prohibit, except as set forth in the formal agenda, active participation in deliberations of the governing body by the public, and except as otherwise prescribed by law, does limit the public to the observations of the actions and discussions of the governing body at all of its regular and special meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our meeting of November 18th. We're glad to see everyone here. I think what we'll do is we'll change the order of business to do all the boring things first and then do the promotions at the end. Yeah, no, yeah, okay. So we're really happy. We have 3 promotions this evening, and we're going to take those up right away, get those done with. Then we'll have our first public comment period. We'll have a little break after the promotions so that you can go out and go wherever you were supposed to be going to. And then we'll have a public comment period, and then we'll be introducing a new ordinance tonight for the redevelopment of the former public service electric and gas site at 186-238 Boyden Avenue. We have a second ordinance, and that's transfer of property around certificate of continued use. And then we have no discussion items tonight. After that, we have a consent agenda in which we'll be doing some resolutions on minutes and some contracts. And then we'll come back to, let's see, after that we'll have our second public comment period. We'll have administrative reports from elected officials, and then we will adjourn. So, without any further ado, let's go to Resolution 193-13.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution number 193-13 is a resolution appointing Lieutenant Michael Anthony Marucci, Captain of the Maplewood Police Department. Whereas the position of Captain in the Maplewood Police Department of Township of Maplewood has become vacant, and whereas the Township Committee of the Township of Maplewood has conducted interviews to fill the position of Captain in the Police Department, and whereas it has been determined that Lieutenant Michael Anthony Marucci is qualified for the position, now therefore be it resolved by the Township Committee, the Township of Maplewood, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that Lieutenant Michael Anthony Marucci be and is hereby appointed to the position of Captain in the Maplewood Police Department in the Township of Maplewood, effective December 1, 2013.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of this resolution.
Larry?
Second.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca.
Yes, congratulations.
I'd like to thank Chief Savino, Mayor DeLuca, and the rest of the council for supporting me in the decision that happened. I'd like to thank my family for going with me through the whole process, which was pretty arduous. And, I'd like to thank the members of the Maplewood Police Department for supporting me and to do the best job that I can.
Okay, we have Resolution 194-13.
Mr. Mayor, Resolution Number 194-13 is a resolution appointing Sergeant Thomas Ames Perna, Lieutenant of the Maplewood Police Department. Whereas the position of Lieutenant in the Maplewood
Easy now,
Police-
we gotta vote first. We gotta vote here.
Whereas the position of lieutenant in the Maplewood Police Department has become vacant, and whereas the Township Committee, the Township of Maplewood, has conducted interviews to fill the position of lieutenant in the police department, and whereas it has been determined that Sergeant Thomas Ames Perna is qualified for the position, now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that Sergeant Thomas Ames Perna, being is hereby appointed to the position of lieutenant in the Maplewood Police Department in the Township of Maplewood, effective December 1, 2013.
Brownlee?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of this resolution.
I'll second it.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier? Ms. Leventhal? Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, congratulations.
That I will. Support the Constitution. Of the United States. And the Constitution. Of the State of New Jersey. And that I will bear. True faith. And allegiance. To the governments established. In this state. And the United States. And under the authority. Of the people. That I will faithfully. Impartially and justly. All the duties. Of the office of. Lieutenant. According to the best of my ability. Congratulations, Lieutenant.
It's not official till you sign
Make
it.
it official.
I'd like to thank Mayor DeLuca, Maplewood, Chief Savino, my brother and sister officers, my wife, my family, I think I've only created this over the years. I'd also like to thank Captain John Perna, who retired, who
Lieutenant, we may hire your wife because I saw her back there getting everybody quiet before. She did a good job. I want to thank her. All right, we have another resolution, 195-13.
Mr. Mayor, resolution number 195-13, a resolution appointing Police Officer Thomas Patrick DiMaggio, Sergeant of the Maplewood Police Department. Whereas the position of Sergeant in the Maplewood Police Department has become vacant, and whereas the Township Committee, the Township of Maplewood, has conducted interviews to fill the position of Sergeant in the Police Department, and whereas it has been determined that Police Officer Thomas Patrick DiMaggio is qualified for the position, now therefore be resolved by the Township Committee, Township of Maplewood, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, that Police Officer Thomas Patrick DiMaggio being is hereby appointed to the position of Sergeant in the Maplewood Police Department in the Township of Maplewood, effective December 1, 2013.
Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of this resolution.
Second. Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. Congratulations.
Gotta hold the Bible.
Right here.
So we're going to take a 5-minute break so you can get to O'Reilly's.
Give me Price. Give me Price.
We're going to get started again. No.
That's for you. That whole thing.
That's not what he's about.
Huh?
And the other thing is,
You want two? Go ahead. Nah.
Ma'am.
because he's not good at it.
Years ago, they went to the VFW place.
Well, he said he's.
Okay, we're going to get started.
See you again, honey.
Okay, so why is it high?
So these lawyers are.
Okay, we're at the point in our meeting where we invite the public to come up and speak to the Township Committee. Is there anyone who would like to address the Township Committee? Yes. Okay, seeing no one, we're going to close the public comment period. We have an introduction of a new ordinance.
Mayor, ordinance number 2738-13. It's an ordinance adopting a redevelopment plan for the public service electric and gas redevelopment site, 186-238 Boyden Avenue. This ordinance will adopt a redevelopment plan for the property known as the Public Service Electric and Gas PSE&G site.
Get a motion, Ms. Leventhal?
Mr. Mayor, move the passage of this ordinance on first reading, its publication according to law in the Maplewood South Orange News Record, and a hearing to be held on December 17th.
Second.
Any discussion?
If I could just.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Mr. Ryan? Oh, you introduced it.
Okay.
You have right to speak
The
first.
date is not December 3rd, as it is listed in the agenda. It is the 17th, because the redevelopment plan will be in front of the planning board, and will not, their findings will not be back to us until our meeting of the 17th.
So the only thing I'd like to say in addition to that is that this is being formally referred to the planning board for consideration at its December meeting, but the planning board did review an early draft of this plan at its last meeting, had an informal review. Just speaking just for myself, I think it was a very helpful and productive discussion around the aspects of the plan, and there was no I don't think any members of the planning board had any issues or saw any roadblocks with the draft plan as it was presented to them. So, it's not formal until they act on it formally, but they've seen it and are familiar with the lot of the aspects of it.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you. We have another ordinance on introduction.
Ordinance number 2739-13. It's an ordinance to amend Chapter 204 of the Code of the Township of Maplewood entitled Transfer of Property. This ordinance will shift the obligation of securing a certificate of continued use upon the transfer of ownership of property from the purchaser to the seller.
Ms. Leventhal?
Mr. Mayor, move the passage of this ordinance on its first reading, its publication according to law in the Maplewood South Orange News Record, and a hearing to be held on December 3rd, 2013.
Mr. Brownlee?
Second.
Did you want to say anything, Ms. Leventhal?
The Board of Realtors came to us last meeting and requested that we move the obligation of securing the certificate of continued use to the owner of the property.
Seller.
We had, no, it's, the seller, I'm
Right.
sorry. of the property. We have previously asked each potential owner to go through the process, and this, I believe at times was confusing, it was certainly onerous. So being as we were alone in that, other towns do it the way we're now proposing it be done. So the certificate of continued use will be upon transfer of ownership of the property from it now will be the seller, not the purchaser, who's looking for, going to obtain that. And it'll be good throughout the whole period of time until the property is sold.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes. Okay, we have no discussion items. Can I get a motion on the consent agenda?
Move to approve the items on the consent agenda?
Second.
Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Ms. Fritzen wants to go home. Don't worry for me to ask for a vote. Just go right ahead.
It was a consent
Just go right ahead. No, just go right ahead. Don't worry about it. I'm just a figurehead here. Don't
She's
worry
trying to
about
make
it.
this the shortest.
She's probably run more
meeting.
meetings
Yeah.
than you have, though, Vic.
Okay, now we're at our second public comment period. Came pretty quick. No, you got to come up here first. Yeah.
Thank you. Erin Scherzer, 49 Oberlin Street. Just wanted to update you on our neighbors have collaborated with respect to the post office at the corner of our street. We will be submitting a letter to the post office and to you as a town council, just so you understood our perspective, that we're excited about it, but just have some concerns with respect to traffic. We want, one of the reasons of me coming here today is to see if you guys have any updates that I can take back to my neighbors so we can stay informed about the process or anything. Do you know if the property's going to be leased or
Leased.
A lease agreement? Okay. And are they planning to take down the building, or are they
No.
just going to act within the current?
They're going to renovate the building as it is.
As
I
it is.
believe they're not changing the footprint of the building.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. So we'll send that out to you guys later this week. Is our
The
timing.
the post office has until the end of this month, right around Thanksgiving, to finalize the move. They had to give a 30-day notice that they were contemplating moving there. So that gives you an opportunity to submit comments. And then at the end of this month, they're going to come back and tell us whether they're going to finalize the move there, but we're pretty sure that that's going to happen. So.
All right. That sounds good. So we'll email it and send a
Okay.
hard copy. Will come to you, Mayor.
Great.
All right.
Thank you. Anyone else want to address the Township Committee? Seeing no one, we'll go to administrative reports. Mr. Manning,
Yes, sorry.
watch your nose.
Okay. I just wanted to bring to your attention quite an honor that we had. For the second year in a row, our municipal court administrator, Ryan Bancroft, has volunteered for 2 days of his own time to participate in the Fugitive Safe Surrender Program, which has been on the news, and he was, last year did the first one, and they invited him back specifically because he had done such a good job and knew the whole process, so I think it's something we should be proud of. The second item and last is that I would appreciate a motion to, for me to go out and accept a proposal for a temporary acting CFO services. As you know, our CFO has been out on medical leave, and it's taking a little bit longer than we thought, so I would like your permission to go out and seek some part-time help so we can close out the end of the year. We have certain things that have to be done.
I would move to give you that authorization.
Second.
Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Okay. Mr. Brownlee?
Yes.
Mrs. Larrier?
Yes.
Ms. Leventhal?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mayor DeLuca?
Yes, thank you very much.
That is the end of my report, unless there are questions.
Questions for Mr. Manning? Okay. Mr. Desiderio?
We should introduce Mr. Desiderio's
Colleague.
Christine Tiratelli.
Thank you, Mayor. The township attorney has no report.
Thank you.
well done.
Ms. Fritzen.
I just wanted to mention, I thank everybody for coming to our 10th annual Veterans Day ceremony, which was a huge success, and the veterans certainly appreciated the program that we had. And that's my only report.
I'm sorry, I have a question. Who actually is responsible for planning?
My department.
Your department? Might we make I'd like to make the suggestion that maybe we get some youngsters involved.
Is it appropriate that you make the suggestion?
No,
Yes.
I know,
Yes.
well, yeah, I know it's appropriate I make the suggestion. I'm thinking that I would like to see some youngsters.
School-age children?
Yes. Boy Scouts, something like that.
We can, sometimes there's school actually going on that day, so we could try.
Okay.
Okay. So you got that suggestion
Yes.
for the future? Okay, great, thank you. Anything else for Ms. Fritzen? Fritzen, are you going to Atlantic City?
Yes, Mayor.
You want to tell us what room you're going to be in?
No, Mayor.
Brenton, you promised not to abuse the minibar?
Okay. Mr. Ryan is not going to Atlantic City. Would you like to give a report?
My report is that I'm not going to Atlantic City. That's
Thank
all
you.
I have. Thank you.
Mrs. Larrier?
I have a similar report that I will not be going to Atlantic City.
Some of us have jobs, you know.
Ms. Leventhal?
I'd like to thank Ms. Fritzen and her staff for a smooth election. Things went nicely. I think Mr. Brownlee would agree.
Yes. Well, is it appropriate for me?
We already had a meeting after the election.
The next
Didn't we? Oh, no, we had a meeting before. We had a meeting before. That's right, that's
Thank
right.
you.
Jeez.
Congratulations, Mr. Brown.
Yes, Mr. Brownlee,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Maplewood will be receiving, I had mentioned, the Silver Certification for Sustainable Jersey. We will also receive the Collaboration Award. We are working with South Orange and Milburn to do joint projects, and it has been recognized as beneficial to environmental efforts by Sustainable Jersey, and we'll be getting that award tomorrow. The walking program, which was part of the funding we received for Maplewood Loves Wellness from Overlook Atlantic Health, has concluded. There were 40 participants. Just about everybody was involved in most of the happenings for that. It was a 6-week program with free pedometers. This was a pilot. Because of its success, we're looking to do it again in the spring. So I'll have more information about that. There are people even asking us already, are we doing it again? So it's turned out to be very exciting for everybody in it. The senior group, the senior club, is looking at a safety project where they are considering reflective armbands to be given to commuters as they are walking in the dark, especially at this time of year, to and from the train. So as that moves along, I'll have more information for you. Thank you.
Mr. Ryan?
Thanks. There was a matter that I did want to mention, Mayor, and my apologies for forgetting it first. The Duran Hedden House and Garden Association is opening a new exhibit about the history of the Postal Service in Maplewood. And the history of the various post offices that have and have not existed in town. I believe it opens on the 24th. There's a lot more to know about it than you think you might know, and folks with an interest in this sort of thing, I'd encourage you to try and get yourself over to the Duran Hedden House and take a look at the exhibit.
Mr. Brownlee?
No report.
I just have one item, I believe. On Saturday, November 30th at 5 p.m., there'll be the first annual holiday celebration at the Springfield Avenue Gazebo. There'll be live music, storytelling for the kids, refreshments, photos with Santa, tree, and menorah lighting. So 5 p.m. at the gazebo on Springfield Avenue.
Are we doing that there instead of Rickleton
No.
Square? Okay.
It's different. Option 2.
Mention that the event at Rickleton Square, the tree lighting there, will be December 7th.
7th. Well, we have a meeting before then.
Oh, right.
That's why I was
Okay.
announcing this, so. This is the meeting, this is the last meeting before November 30th.
Do you entertain a motion to adjourn?
I would.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you very much. We'll see you on December 3rd.
Mr. Tilly, you are good luck. Please have Mr. Desiderio send you more often.